I got a Daisy feeling. I got a Daisy feeling. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm JABYBHAI, joined by Char Kirk.
What's up?
This is our continuance of GULMOHAR. I said it correctly.
You did.
Thanks so much for returning if this is a part 2 video. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, vote this up, let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. You're watching a cut down version of our reaction, obviously. If you want to watch the whole thing, no cuts, no interruptions, not broken up into parts, head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/JABYBHAI, or become a member of this channel. You'll get access to the full uncut reaction, etc., etc.
And if you're watching this, well, you've already seen it, but you would have seen like a funky costume change in the middle of the watch along and been like, weird.
All right, here we go.
गेस करो मैं आज किससे मिला?
किससे?
आदित्य मेरे कंपनी में जॉब के लिए अप्लाई कर रहा है।
Seriously?
Seriously.
मैं वो एजेंट रानी को पैसे दे दिए तो फ्लैट हमारा है।
But at what cost? The cost of your dreams? How's that going to affect their marriage?
आज मम्मी जी के कमरे में घर के पेपर्स की फाइल मिली। उसमें ये भी मिला।
What?
इसमें ये लिखा है कि उनके गुजरने के बाद ये घर वो चाचा जी और कमल के नाम करते।
Betrayal.
वो अंदर आने नहीं दे रहे थे और
Oh, someone's gonna get punched. I knew someone was getting hit. Oh, damn, G2.
ये घर के फाइल में से ये कागज मिला था।
Oh, straight to it.
मैं प्रभाकर केदारनाथ बत्रा अपने पूरे होशो आवास में, क्योंकि मेरी पत्नी श्रीमती कुसुम बत्रा और मेरी कोई अपनी औलाद नहीं थी, हमने अरुण प्रभाकर बत्रा को गोद लिया था। जब तक कुसुम बत्रा जिंदा हैं, बिना किसी के इजाजत या रुकावट के रह सकती हैं, इसमें कोई आपत्ति नहीं होगी। ऐसा हुआ तो इस वसीयत को मेरा अंतिम फैसला माना जाएगा। विटनेस 1 सुधाकर बत्रा, विटनेस 2 कुसुम बत्रा।
Oh.
अरुण बेटा, प्लीज, I want to explain. Please let me.
फॉर्मेलिटी से मुझे दूर।
नहीं अरुण भाई, कोई मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग हुई है। ताई जी क्या हो रहा है? आप कुछ करिए ना, आपके एहसान है हम पर।
मेरी मीटिंग है, मुझे निकलना होगा।
Whoa.
अगर किसी को इस वसीयत से कोई ऑब्जेक्शन है तो हम लोग कोर्ट में मिल सकते हैं।
Whoa.
एक पल में आपने मुझे पराया कर दिया।
Yeah, that's what it's about.
जब भी वो मुझे कुछ देते थे साइन करने के लिए, मैं साइन कर देती थी। जिस दिन मुझे पता चला, उनके और मेरे बीच में बहुत बहस हुई और उसी दौरान
Oh, shit.
बेहोश हो गए। और जब तक तुम लोग लंदन से वापस आए, he was gone. तब से मैं मौका ढूंढती रही। ये सब मैं तुमको बताऊं। ये मनहूस कागज में जो कुछ भी लिखा है, ये कोई मायने नहीं रखता। तुम हमारी औलाद हो। You're my son. और यही सच है। Shut up!
God.
I don't think I've ever told my mom to shut up ever.
No. Yeah.
That's a pretty big
That's
deal.
pretty bad. But I have just one question.
Yep.
Seeing that the uncle knew all along,
He was a witness.
like, yeah, why didn't he say something about it sooner? Like, that's my question.
अनपढ़ है, इस डर से अपनी दिल की बात तुमको नहीं बता पा रहे हैं। अब या तो तुम उनकी दिल की बात समझ लो, या बोल दो साफ-साफ कि तुम्हारे दिल में उनके लिए कुछ नहीं है, कहानी खत्म।
I don't think this is on her,
Yeah, no.
but
Yeah, that's not.
he's defending his buddy though.
Yeah, I get it. But yeah, you're right. That is not on her. That is totally on him. is she gonna write a beautiful song now? Oh. All right,
That's a
girl.
lot of missed text messages. Wow.
Come on.
कहाँ जा रहे हो आप?
कुसुम से फाइल लेनी है और फिर लॉयर से भी मिलना है।
आपको पता है अरुण भाई रात भर घर वापस नहीं आए हैं। कहीं मुंह दिखाने लायक नहीं छोड़ा है आपने। और इस बार तो सारी हदें पार कर।
Don't you dare talk to me like that. और क्या एहसानों की बात कर रहे हो? मेरी फैमिली को तोड़ के बड़ा एहसान किया है उसने। हम सब बहुत खुश थे एक ही घर में।
किशोर की पढ़ाई के डोनेशंस, नीना की सर्जरी का खर्चा।
किसी दिन शायद समझोगे कि मैं यूं कर रहा हूं।
बाबा जी रब करे वो दिन कभी ना आए कि मैं आपको समझ पाऊं।
Wow.
कभी ना आए।
Wow.
कई बार सोचा कि मैं वहां जाऊं, बात करूं, पूछूं।
Why?
पता नहीं क्यों तो मैं कभी ये सड़क पार ही नहीं कर पाया, नहीं बदल पाया कुछ भी।
क्योंकि तुम कभी कुछ बदलना ही नहीं चाहते।
Well, I would imagine his birth father would be happy to see where he is now.
You
See that?
never know.
Yeah, you never know.
But change is one of the hardest things to face humanity.
Uh-oh.
You know?
इस बात की शर्म खा के बैठे हो भाई। अब जिंदगी बेहतर करने के लिए जो कुछ भी करना पड़े उसमें क्या शर्माना? पर अब बता ना,
Yeah.
जो काम दिल से हो सके ना उसमें दिमाग को जोर मत दे,
That's good advice.
Yeah.
समझा?
अरे जीतू भैया,
Is he gonna take it though? I hope he does. Open the damn letter.
मम्मी जी, छोटे दादाजी आए हैं।
I don't fully understand the legal parameters of all this if the house is being sold.
Yeah, that's my question. But perhaps that would then like kind of put the whole sale into question, right? Because it's like who's the rightful owner to be selling?
आज छोटू नहीं आया और मेरे घुटनों में तकलीफ है, इसलिए मैं वहां तक नहीं आ सका सड़क पार। आप बैठिए, मैं चाय लाता हूँ। इतने सालों बाद आप पहली बार सड़क पार करके यहाँ आए।
कोई बच्चा नहीं आपका?
55 साल पहले मेरे एक लड़का हुआ था। मैंने उसको लाल कंबल में लपेटा और अस्पताल के पार्किंग में छोड़ दिया।
बस छोड़ दिया?
साहब जी शायद उसने मेरे लिए यही चुना था। चल चल चल। साहब जी आपके अपने बच्चे नहीं हैं। आप रोज उनके लिए दुनिया की सारी खुशियां मांगते होंगे। मैं भी मांगू वो सारी खुशियां जिसका वो हकदार था और मैं नहीं दे पाया।
खुशियां मांगे नहीं जाती, दी जाती।
आप दे सकते हैं क्योंकि आपको दी गई थी।
Yeah.
Yeah, some people don't have anything to give.
Yeah. He gave him a better life.
Yeah.
I mean, even with all the drama that came with it, you know?
Yeah.
But he's a rich man now.
Well, I mean, seeing how he would
What
have
his
lived
life.
otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. Like those holes in the wall and everything.
अगर हम आपको ये जॉब दे दें, क्या आप अपना स्टार्टअप छोड़ देंगे?
It's like that Three Idiots moment.
Yeah, he's gonna say no.
नहीं।
Yeah.
I beg your pardon?
Excuse me. I'm so sorry. मैं 2 मिनट आदित्य से बात कर सकती हूँ, please?
What's happening?
I'm so sorry, मैम. बस
आप
2
कौन है
मिनट.
मैडम?
Yeah. It's like, who are you?
तुम्हें ये करने की जरूरत नहीं है। I know कि हम कोशिश करते रहते हैं और हम गिरते रहते हैं, पर अगर हम गिरे हमें बस फिर से उठ के कोशिश करनी है, राइट? साइकिलिंग कोई रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है।
Yeah.
पापा से ले लो यार। क्या है ये, हाँ? कि मैं अपने बाप से पैसे नहीं लूंगा, सब खुद करूंगा। इतना 1970s है ना? तुम्हें नहीं लगता पापा को फक्र इस बात का होगा अगर वो तुम्हारे सपनों का हिस्सा बन सके आदि?
Yeah.
अंकुर
क्या
अरे आगे प्रॉप्स है।
तुझे अचानक से लड़की से प्यार हो गया?
प्यार है अंकुर, जिससे भी हो, जैसे भी हो।
और हमारा प्यार क्या था? झूठ।
मिस स्कारलेट।
No.
अंकुर सुन। I'm sorry. कुछ साथ लिए और
It's a nice little arc for him
Yeah.
because he was a big fat jerk.
भैया जरा बताना इसमें क्या लिखा है?
Oh.
मुझे तुम याद करना और मुझको याद आना तुम।
आपका फोटो गुमा नहीं था, चुराया गया था।
Oh.
मैं तुम्हारे यहाँ भेज सकती थी, लेकिन चाहती थी कि तुम खुद यहाँ आकर इसे ले जाओ। तुम जैसे लोगों के लिए हमेशा बंद कर सके।
Oh, go grandma.
It was meant to be.
Can they not use it now? Is it unreadable? Maybe that's the premise. Come on, hug it out, you guys. I'll take that. A back pat. Oh.
Oh, we get a little Marvel ending.
Yeah, I was like, what's happening?
That's in the sequel.
Or is it her wedding?
That's what I was saying.
What?
Maybe it's just a family celebration.
Yeah, probably just a family celebration. Oh, this is holy?
Oh, that's what she wanted.
Yeah. Oh God. Grandma, what are you gonna do?
ये सिंगर सुप्रिया पालेकर है ना? रिटायरमेंट के बाद पौंडीचेरी में रहती है।
अच्छा।
Oh.
She's gonna live out her golden years with her lover. I love this for you, Grandma. Yes.
Overall, I like this picture quite a bit. I mean, the standout is the most obvious thing, which is the acting in the film. I mean, that's what this is about. You know, at the end of the day, you're dealing with an ensemble cast, and I think that everyone did a fantastic job in their respective role. I have a lot of bias, but I think it's very understandable. Manoj Bajpayee is obviously like the standout for me, but everyone around him still did a really, really good job. You know
Yeah.
I mean, Manoj Bajpayee, for me, what makes him so special, as I kind of mentioned during the reaction, is that he knows how to capture your attention and convey a lot while doing just a little bit. And I think it takes a profoundly good actor to do something like that, and a profoundly confident actor to be able to not go overboard with something in order to communicate a feeling. And I think that there were instances where the director also allowed the actors to just act, and those are my favorite moments in terms of scene work in the film, where it wasn't overcompensating, it wasn't doing too much with the camera work, it was just allowing us to be part of this like a fly on the wall and experience it with them in real time, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, I thought especially the older actors, so like Manoj Bajpayee, as well as the actress that played his mom and then his wife, Indu, as well.
And apologies for not remembering everybody's names, by the way.
Yes. I just feel like maybe it's because there is this life experience that they can bring to the characters, but the characters definitely felt really, really lived in. And every time they spoke about memories or stuff, I was like, I'm really feeling it. Even if they themselves are holding back the emotions, they're doing such a great job like conveying that to the audience that it got me really emotional, because like I could completely understand what was going on, like the sense of betrayal that Arun felt when he read that will. Right. And it's not even about the house. And I think that's the lovely thing that this movie reminds us of, that it's not the physical place, right? And while that holds a lot of importance as well, because it stands for something, what it really stands for is the people. The people make it a home, the relationships with those people, the memories that you make. And, you know, it was just like that sense of betrayal of he was adopted, that thinking all this time that he was loved and that he was part of the family, but then to find out that your dad wanted to give your home away to his brother and his family because he didn't consider you to be like blood.
Yeah, because his brother's blood.
Yeah. That was like completely messed up, and I could understand how he was so blindsided by that. And as soon as that realization came, I was just like, my heart is breaking right now into a million pieces.
I can go on and on and on about the acting, and that they were able to bring this script to life, bring the words to life in a way that is very believable, and you don't question the reality of this whatsoever amongst anybody in the story. And in the writing, it allows you to sort of understand everybody's individual perspective in a way that, you know, you don't hate anyone. And it's like you get everybody, including down to the guy who was kind of a jerk on the piano. Like, you kind of get his perspective too, even though I was upset with how he was talking to that character, the female character who turned out to be a lesbian. I thought it was just uncool how he was treating her, and he's like, oh, why are we getting back together? It's like, but you're a jerk. So, even he had his like nice little arc, even though he was barely in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, and that to me is good writing, where you get everybody. It's understandable. There isn't any two-dimensional characters in this film as far as I can tell, like down to the help. Like, everyone had something going on mentally, emotionally, that they were sort of dealing with and trying to overcome. I thought it was a little bit sad that with the uncle character, he didn't seem to get a fully realized arc in the story.
Yeah, he was more of like the villain.
Yeah, he was kind of dismissed. And I was thinking that in that conversation, we were going to see him come around. I thought that's what the inevitable thing was, but instead it was just that the water spilled because of his own mistake. And so
and then you still get that sense of like this theme of destiny that keeps coming back inside the story, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yes, our lives are the sum of the choices that we make, right? But then also there is this sense of like some things were just meant to be. And so maybe it is like, now that the water has spilled all over the will, it calls into doubt what was written, and so he might not get it in the end.
Yeah, I thought the scene where Manoj confronts his biological father was nice.
Yeah, it was really powerful.
I mean, resistance to him just coming out and saying it, of like, yo, you're my dad, what's up? Like, why you do that? It was handled in a more, if refined is the right way, but nuanced. It was handled in a more delicate manner that probably is more realistic, because if you've been afraid to confront this person for years, you've just been getting tea from that person for, a long time on that side of the road. It's not likely you just come out and be like, yo, you're my dad, what the you know what I mean? You probably hold back in the way that he did in this film and try to navigate this without coming right out and saying it. I'm a little surprised that Manoj didn't keep the photo of his biological parents, that he just put it back, but I guess he was just being respectful. It was a nice instance of him having this realization of like, this could have been my life. And I kind of wanted to see it go a tad further of like, well, now what?
That was a question that I had too in my mind. I was like, well, now if the theme of the movie is love, then maybe the idea would be that maybe he could find a way to help his father, in the same way that, yes, his father abandoned him, but in doing so, he afforded him a life that he himself would have never been able to give his son, right? And so maybe now he can pay it forward and like pay for the pain or like make him more comfortable in his life somehow.
I was expecting all that, and it felt low-key inspired by Aaron Sorkin's Steve Jobs, because that exact thing comes up. In the movie, where Steve Jobs is like, I met him, and you see a flashback of him interacting with his biological dad, who had no idea that he was talking to his own son. I mean, he took it even further here in a good way, because like I would have liked to have seen it gone further in that film, and so we got to an expanded version of it here in a way that made me happy, if that makes any
Yeah.
sense. Now, take what I'm saying right now with a grain of salt, because I know that these things might affect me more than they affect other people. But I think that the handling in the editing and some of the camera work was a bit too much for me, because it's not that kind of movie. You know what I mean? Like sometimes the camera was just doing too much. Like in the beginning, it was fine because it was like, okay, you're being told on a subconscious level that things aren't right? In a film like this, to have the camera move the way that it does in the beginning kind of puts you on edge. And I think that's actually a good way to open the story. You know, there are some people who might not be necessarily as invested in a story like this.
Sure.
And they turn it on just out of sheer curiosity, and right away it's making you feel a particular way. And that's good in order to get you hooked into the film. With so much content out there, with so much to watch, you need something to kind of hook you in immediately so that you feel compelled to watch and not just turn it off and go to the next thing, because it's a competition for our eyes. As the movie went on, I was like, why is the camera doing what it's doing right now? I don't understand. Like, just let it be. And then sometimes it was cutting so quick back and forth, and I'm like, I don't really see the need for this. It's more distracting than allowing me to just buy into the reality. There's some really good acting going on. Just let me look at it instead of cutting around it. That's the feeling I had sometimes.
Sure.
I mean, obviously the performances shined through anyway, and there were some good choices made anyway in terms of the directing. I just thought that he could have like taken his foot off the gas a little bit sometimes in terms of the creative choices with the angles or the filters or the editing.
Yeah, the only thing that kind of distracted me a little bit was that thing that I talked to you about at the beginning, which was like, oh, this is interesting, like that kind of Vaseline smeared on the camera lens type look that they were going for. But maybe that was kind of talking more to the feeling of nostalgia that the movie is trying to portray.
With that in mind, I noticed that towards the end of the film that was gone. And so it's almost like there was a lack of clarity in the beginning.
Maybe.
And then clarity came by the end.
Yeah, I think that a lot of this movie, like if we were to really break it down, there's a lot of visual cues that are being given here with the symbolism of like, you know, the mirrors, or even like how it's framed at certain points, like having characters in archways of doors of rooms and kind of...
Sorry, like you keep leaning back and I have to lean with you because the focus is on me.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's just like, because I'm thinking, right? Seeing them set up in that way, I'm like, I feel like the director and probably the DP are telling this story very, very visually, and there's a lot of symbolism that they're trying to communicate to us there, like whether it's like the family feeling fractured, or whether it's like people feeling isolated and lonely in these rooms of this big house, and then having them come together at the end as a family, you know?
Yeah, no, it's certainly, that's all. I'm sure it's quite present in half the meaning that a director, more than half the meaning that a director and a DP try to convey are consciously lost, and subconsciously, hopefully you get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hopefully you feel it, and maybe you can't articulate what it is, but you feel something, right?
And I think this movie definitely did a good job of making me feel things.
Sure.
Like this is definitely the sort of movie that I really enjoy. Like I enjoy family dramas, and I love kind of getting invested in the emotions and caring for these characters. And considering that there were a lot of characters, like especially in the beginning where it felt really chaotic, and you know, we're in that family event and everyone's just kind of like, the camera's moving really quickly, everyone's talking to each other, talking over each other, and you get that sense of chaos. Even then, like the characters are clearly defined, and the little looks that they're giving each other tell a story of like a hidden drama, and like how each person feels about the other and all that. So they did a really great job of communicating in a very subtle way.
Yeah, I thought the performances were fantastic. The music was on point. Everything, you know, coalesced into a nice, solid movie at the end of it. So you guys, thanks so much for hanging. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I'm Jabby Kuwait. This is
ACHARAJI.
Peace out.